It's Nolan. What's going on, beautiful people? It's the kid J Nolan here. Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Industry, your number one source for music and entertainment commentary and breakdowns. As y'all can see over here on my left, we've got Coi Leray, Drake, and Tupac. We're going to be covering a few other stories all in this video, but the primary things are kind of circulating these three people. You also will see the TikTok logo there. We're going to address Joe Biden signing the TikTok ban into law. Things are about to get very interesting out here, especially not only for content creators throughout the entire United States, but also for the music industry, as this is going to present a whole new challenge if this thing really holds up, right? So at this point, they're trying to force and corner TikTok into selling to an American-owned company in order to stay in business, or at least sell their American operations. I don't think they're going to want to do that. But, you know, they might be getting hemmed up in the process and have to do that. So we're going to get to that in just a few. But first thing I want to address is the whole Drake AI thing, right? We talked about it yesterday. We spoke about Tupac's brother, Mopreme, and his perspective. He said he didn't really like it. He didn't enjoy it. We talked about Suge Knight coming out and saying he didn't enjoy it, didn't like it either. I took his commentary with a grain of salt. However, it seems that Drake has actually been hit with a cease and desist from the Tupac estate now, right?
Kendrick, we need you.
That definitely changes things. All right? So let me go to Billboard and see what exactly it says. I don't want to get this information from no blog site or no salacious media commentators. I want it straight from the source. So here we have it. Tupac's estate threatens to sue Drake over diss track featuring AI-generated Tupac voice. In a cease and desist letter to Drake obtained exclusively by Billboard, the late rapper's estate said it is deeply dismayed and would never have given its approval. This kind of changes the game for me. You know, I already said I respected Mopreme's perspective on it, but damn. Tupac Shakur's estate is threatening to sue Drake over a recent diss track against Kendrick Lamar that featured an AI-generated version of the late rapper's voice, calling it a flagrant violation of the law and a blatant abuse of his legacy. In a Wednesday cease and desist letter obtained, litigator Howard King told Drake that he must confirm that he will pull down his tailor-made freestyle in less than 24 hours. Or the estate will pursue all of its legal remedies against him. Damn, Drake. You want to really go to war with Tupac and his estate over this? The diss was mid, but I like the tactic. I thought the tactical use of the AI shit was comical. It was witty, and it was a nice entry into the battle because we all know Kendrick's intimate relationship, not to be confused with intimate relationship on some bullshit, but just how much of a fan he was of Tupac. Additionally, Snoop, who possibly could have cleared the AI thing, depending on some theories that are out there. But they state, the estate is deeply dismayed and disappointed by your unauthorized use of Tupac's voice and personality. Not only is the record a flagrant violation of Tupac's publicity and the estate's legal rights, it is also a blatant abuse of the legacy of one of the greatest hip-hop artists of all time. The estate would never have given its approval for this use. Right? Furthermore, the unauthorized, equally dismaying use of Tupac's voice against Kendrick Lamar, a good friend to the estate, ooh, shit, who has given nothing but respect to Tupac and his legacy publicly and privately, compounds the insult. Now that's where shit gets deep, in my personal opinion. When you talk about how Kendrick is a good friend of the estate, because remember now, when he did the To Pimp a Butterfly shit, he had to clear it with the estate, which means that they ate off of it, right? Again, Tupac has definitely been a big inspiration for Kendrick. He's always spoken highly of Pac in all his interviews, anytime his name came up. Whoo, that's where shit get a little funny. Because now this whole this little tactic that you employ is backfiring, because now Pac family is saying, and those that run his affairs and his death are like, nigga, get the fuck out of here. We didn't clear it. We never would clear it. And you going against a friend of the, you know what I mean? You going against a friend of the family? Nah, bro. You got 24 hours to get this shit out the paint, or we finna start painting some different type of documentation. Oh shit. I still like the record. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Not that I listen to it, but I like it in terms of, again, the battle. Let's keep going though. A rep for Drake has declined to comment on the demands of the Shakur estate. It's unclear if Snoop Dogg, whose voice was also featured on Taylor Made, is planning to raise similar legal objections to Drake's track. On Saturday, he posted a video to social media in which he seemed to be learning of the song for the first time. He said, "They did what? When? How? Are you sure?" A rep for Snoop Dogg did not return a request for comment. However, give a big shout out to Curtis King. He has a theory, and this is all just theory. Hold on, let me get myself out of here and go back to my original shot. And then we'll get back to this theory. He has a theory that Snoop could have authorized the AI version of his verse in exchange for a little mañan. Now, furthermore, this theory goes back to Drake's affiliation or alleged affiliation with Gamma, because Snoop is also over there with Gamma. The Death Row catalog has Gamma has stake in that, as they've joined forces, right, to exploit the Death Row catalog. So it could have been a conversation with Larry Jackson and Snoop, like, yo, Drake wants to clear your AI likeness. He wants to rap as you on a song. Is it cool for X amount of dollars? Snoop might have said, fuck it, I'll take the money. Y'all know Snoop don't turn a lot of money down. There's some people that also believe Snoop may make a appearance on the next Kendrick Lamar diss track, if we ever receive it, which would make things even more interesting. Yeah, I'll take your little bitch ass money, and we're going to get right back at your ass on the back end. Sound like West Coast tactic to me. I don't know. It's going to get very interesting. Now, Drake did not make this tailor-made freestyle available on any streaming platforms, right? But the tailor-made freestyle has generated well more than 1 million streams at this point, and has been widely reported in the general national press and popular entertainment websites and publications. They say without question, it is exponentially more serious and damaging than a picture of you with some other people on a low-volume website. In their closing paragraphs, the letter demanded written confirmation by noon Pacific on Thursday that Drake's representatives will expeditiously take all steps necessary to have this removed and scrubbed from the internet. They say if you comply, the estate will consider whether an informal negotiation to resolve this matter makes sense. If you do not comply, our client has authorized this firm to pursue all of its legal remedies, including but not limited to an action for violation of the estate's copyright, publicity, and personality rights, and the resulting damages, injunctive relief, and punitive damages, and attorney fees. So although Drake is not making any money from this record, clearly, because it's not available on any platforms where you can consume it, it's only out on the internet as far as Instagram, YouTube, where he's not generating royalties off of that, social media stuff. They're saying, nah, dog, it ain't about that. You're going to have to pay us for damages of infringing copyright, publicity rights, personality rights, and you're going to have to pay damages towards us because you knew how to get in contact with us, but you didn't. So we finna, you know what I mean? We finna overcharge niggas for what they did to the Cold Crush. And you're going to pay our attorney fees if we got to actually file a lawsuit against your ass. Drake, are you taking it down, or you gonna fight against Pac and them too? You going against the entire industry. You going up against 20 niggas. You want to add Pac to that list too? West Coast really gonna be on your ass. Furthermore, well, that's really all we got. We'll see how Drake reacts to this. When it comes to Miss Coi Leray, thought this was quite interesting. Coi Leray comes out and she made it apparent that she's no longer with her label after all these years. She's no longer signed to Republic Records, right? She also made some statements saying that Republic wanted her to create pop records like Taylor Swift and Ariana Grande, right? She stated that she felt like they didn't like her Blue Moon project and didn't want to put money behind that particular project. Now, let's just look up Coi Leray's Blue Moon, shall we? Blue Moon was released approximately 7 months ago. It came out August 30th of 2023. This is a 5-song set. And didn't she release something else last year too? Let me go through Coi Leray's discography, because this was an EP. I remember this dropped. It definitely came and went. I don't think this performed very well on the charts either. But what was the project before that? Coi. I remember when Coi dropped. That had a little bit more going for it, but it didn't have a lot going for it in terms of, it had Players on there, but I think Players had already been out for like a year and some change, almost 2 years. Bops, My Body, Run It Up, all of those sounds, they weren't really doing what they intended, right? So the last album she put out was Coi, then she put out the Blue Moon EP that she said she didn't get a lot of help on or support. Now, when it comes to the Coi album, she spoke about her intentions. She said, I feel like a lot of the headlines kind of overshadow my true talent and what God really brought me here to do. So I just can't wait, because this album's going to show that. And also the second album is going to make people go back to Trendsetter and make them actually appreciate it for the music instead of the BS and the negative headlines. And Coi Leray always being the topic. This album is all about me. It was released on, wait. No. What was the date that this was released? The album came out June 23rd of 2023. Right? But they get you another flake. Yeah, I remember that. So, this album was met with lukewarm reviews from music critics. And I don't think her sales on this particular project are really out there like that. Which, when they don't disclose what it did, we know it ain't do all that well. She sold about 10,000 copies the first week. I do remember this, because everybody was saying it flopped. Right? Especially for an album that had features like David Guetta. I mean, David Guetta, I thought would bring in more than 10,000 units just off curiosity in his genre. Saucy Santana was on there, which he also got dropped or let go from RCA. And Lola Brooke was also on the project. The song Players spent 25 weeks on the charts on Billboard's Hot 100. But that didn't even leverage very many album sales. It's tough. The thing about Coi Leray, man, I think her calling might be in fashion. You know what I'm saying? As a rapper, she's, what's the word that we can use? Decent, I guess, just to be fair. She's a decent rapper, not a great rapper, not a great artist. But she's got an aesthetic that works. When she puts out photos, people circulate the photos. She's got a personality that works on social media. When she says things, she gets attention, even if it may bring negative, So I think she'll continue to have a career of some sort. I don't know if she's going to try to go the independent route or if she's going to try to get another deal. I would estimate any other record label in the industry is going to treat her very similarly to RCA. Oh, not RCA, but Republic. So I don't know what her next move is, but let's see what she had to say for herself, shall we?
Republic Records no more. I'm on Island. When I dropped Blue Moon, Republic, they wanted like they wanted some Taylor Swift, Ariana Grande, which I can do, but I still like to work on my own pace and my own time, and I'm still like developing and learning and my own sound. So I felt like it just, the Blue Moon they didn't like. I wouldn't say that they didn't like, but it was something that they felt like they didn't want to put no money into. So when I gotta come out my pocket and put my own money into my own music, you gotta make real life decisions. Hello? Boy? Ma, where you at?
You still want me to come?
Yeah, come on. Our appointment's at 3:00. Not everybody supports every single koi in the pond, if that makes sense. So my versatility, sometimes I'm rapping, singing, baby voice, deep voice, and different boats, different floats. Not everybody likes a certain thing, so I get it. I be wanting to put out music, and people be like, my labels, they want to roll the shit out, and I get it. But I be like so up on just trying to drop. I feel like I be wanting to drop at least like fucking. I got so much music, and then I make the music, and then I get over it. Like I make the music, I go through a time. So I write through experience. So I have an experience, I make the music, and then I go through new experiences, and the music just sits on my phone. And I'm like, all right, I don't want to drop that. I'm not feeling like that this year. I felt like that last year. Now I'm with Island. January, February, March, April. It's been like 3 months. January, February, March, April, about to be 4 months. The transition is happening. I'm not on Republic Records no more. I'm on Island. When I dropped Blue Moon.
I don't know where the rest of this live is at. I wish I had the entire piece of her talking. So she's no longer with Republic. She's already made a transition to Island Records. I don't know what's going to be so different about Island Records. Especially since they're all in the UMG umbrella. Not to say like UMG is like the fucking enemy or anything like that, although sometimes it feels that way. Because if you were on Republic had probably a much bigger budget than Island will. Island has a smaller roster, I would think, than a Republic. Island also has a less, lesser priority of artists, because Republic has Drake, Nicki, Taylor Swift, The Weeknd. All them motherfuckers is on Republic. So all the big budget, all the marketing, all the TV slots, all the great opportunities, they're going to be split between those headlining names. Then you get little old Coi, who's dropping TikTok records, breaking records on there. And then TikTok gets stripped away. They end their relationship, Universal does, with TikTok. So that also creates an issue, because although she tried to fight the narrative that she was a TikTok artist, her greatest success came from there. And we no longer even service our music to that platform. So now, where do you fit? Where do you fit into the company? You're about to become defunct. Even going to Island, which is a subsidiary of Universal, I don't think there's anything that they can do to combat this either. They're going to have to try to find a creative way to roll her out. She says that Republic didn't want to invest into her project, Blue Moon. And let's just take a little refresher on what this Blue Moon thing was. So Blue Moon was kind of like her foray into making R&B-ish music. Not R&B in terms of like vocal performance, but it was a more subdued type of soundtrack. It had kind of Lil Durkish vibes. I know when Lil Durk be singing, kind of those type vibes. Didn't really have a lot of mainstream appeal. Very moody, singing about relationship type stuff. But when you're already an artist that's hard to be pegged down into like one space, your albums don't do well, your singles are the most successful, but you don't have an official single off of this project, I can totally understand Republic's hesitance to invest into this project. Now, let me be very clear. I'm very pro artist, but one thing that I am very, very adamant about is when you enter into the music industry and you do a record deal with a record company, you are basically signing on to become a commodity. Meaning, once they commodify you, at a certain point, you're put in the position to do what works. If what you're doing no longer works, they pull resources from you. Some artists never even get to the stage of putting out an album because maybe they're defiant to do what works. They can't seem to find what's going to work for you. We've given you X amount, we've given you X amount of experiments, different singles, EPs or whatever to just try to, taste test you to the public, for lack of better terms. Nothing's connecting. You may never get an album. Coi, on the other hand, she got 2 of them and some other EPs. It just didn't seem to click. Like I said, that last album she put out sold 10,000, around 11,500 in totality. I think it might have went over, but when the numbers were reported, they stopped reporting from there. Blue Moon never even got an official report as far as sales. And I'm not the big sales person, but there's independent artists that can sell 10,000 copies. There's independent artists that can sell 30, 40, 50,000 copies. So if you're not performing on that level minimum, yeah, it's going to be a problem. Now, I don't know what she has in store with this new Island partnership, and Island has Island Def Jam under them. They've got a couple different companies that fall under what they do. They've got Island Philippines in different areas of the world. So I guess we'll just see how the things pan out for her. And while we're on the subject of TikTok artists, we might as well talk about the TikTok ban, right? So let's just see how that goes. So I found an article on the Associated Press talking about the TikTok ban, and they say, here's what happened when India did it. So they're going to give us a few different context clues about what's going on, right? So they say the hugely popular Chinese app TikTok may be forced out of the US, where a measure to outlaw the video sharing app has won congressional approval and is on its way to President Biden for its signature. Biden signed off on it. In India, the app was banned nearly 4 years ago. Here's what happened, right? So in India, when this same exact issue took place, in June of 2020, TikTok users in India bid goodbye to the app, which is operated by Chinese internet firm ByteDance. Cool. The government cited privacy concerns the same way that we do here. The move mostly drew widespread support in India, where protesters had been calling for a boycott of Chinese goods. Okay, so y'all basically saying India supported it. Just months before the ban, India had also restricted investment from Chinese companies. So y'all niggas is mad at China any goddamn way. At the time, India had about 200 million TikTok users, and the company also employed thousands of Indians. TikTok users and content creators, however, needed a place to go, and the ban provided a multi-billion-dollar opportunity to snatch up a big market. Within months, Google rolled out YouTube Shorts, and Instagram pushed out its Reels features. Both mimicked the short-form video creation that TikTok excelled at. So at that point, I guess everybody transitioned from there. But for the most part, content creators and others in the 4 years since the ban have moved on to other platforms. So now talking to content creators out there, talking about how they're missing opportunities, earning money that they're not no longer getting that they used to get. But they say the experience ain't really hitting like it used to. right? However, even with the accounts in India, that ain't the same. It ain't the same. So what are the implications on this TikTok ban? Right? ByteDance has 270 days to sell TikTok to a company not controlled by a foreign adversary, meaning that it can't be controlled by someone out of the country that is also an enemy, before the app is banned in the US. If a deal is imminent as that 270-day deadline approaches, the president can then grant a 90-day extension. So if a deal seems like it's coming into play and they agree with whoever ByteDance goes to, they'll give them a 90-day extension to keep TikTok active while they work out the negotiations, I suppose. Right now, the list of foreign adversaries that TikTok cannot be sold to is anyone in China, Cuba, Iran, North Korea, Russia, or Venezuela. Right? So basically, they're trying to corner them into a US owner. Let's be fucking real. Now, Suzy Chu from TikTok, the CEO, came out and had a few things to say. We're going to play him on here and just see what his response to this looming ban at this point is. He's been pretty defiant up to this point. Let's see if he's speaking the same language or if he's now, becoming a little bit more open to the thought.
Hi everyone, it's Show here. As you may have heard, Congress passed a bill that the president signed into law that is designed to ban TikTok in the United States. That will take TikTok away from you and 170 million Americans who find community and connection on our platform. Make no mistake, this is a ban on TikTok and a ban on you and your voice. Politicians may say otherwise, but don't get confused. Many who sponsored the bill admit a TikTok ban is their ultimate goal. It's obviously a disappointing moment, but it does not need to be a defining one. It's actually ironic because the freedom of expression on TikTok reflects the same American values that make the United States a beacon of freedom. TikTok gives everyday Americans a powerful way to be seen and heard, and that's why so many people have made TikTok part of their daily lives. Rest assured, we aren't going anywhere. We are confident and we will keep fighting for your rights in the courts. The facts and the Constitution are on our side, and we expect to prevail again. Our community is filled with people who have found acceptance and compassion, offered inspiration and encouragement, increased their awareness, and broadened their perspectives, ultimately adding more delight and joy to their lives. Our community is also filled with 7 million business owners who have built their livelihoods on TikTok. While we make our case in court, you'll still be able to enjoy TikTok like you always have. In fact, if you have a story about how TikTok impacts your life, we'll love for you to share it to showcase exactly what we're fighting for. Meanwhile, we will continue to invest and innovate to keep our community vibrant, exciting, and safe. Through our US data security efforts, we have built safeguards that no other peer company has made. We have invested billions of dollars to secure your data and keep our platform free from outside manipulation. I can't say this enough. This extraordinary diverse community is what makes TikTok so special, what makes it matter, and what makes it meaningful. And we'll keep working to ensure you will always have the opportunity, the safety, and the freedom to enjoy all TikTok has to offer. Thank you.
Hey man, I fuck with you or show. Homie is soft spoken. This nigga a gangster. Alright. He's the CEO of TikTok now. This nigga went to war with UMG, told them niggas to suck my dick. We ain't paying you niggas. All right, well, I guess we're going to have to pull our music from the platform if you don't want to pay us. All right, let's talk again. We'll pay you less. Universal said, no, we're taking our shit and running. Nigga said, deuces. Wow. What the fuck was that? So then the balloons just threw me the fuck off. I ain't never seen that shit. Then They going through all this turmoil, all this back and forth with the U.S., Joe Biden, the government, all this shit. He ain't back down not once. He ain't tucked his tail. He said, dog, we've taken all the precautions that you niggas asked for. We've invested billions of dollars into cybersecurity. All this shit that y'all are alleging against us is purely false. We got your U.S. Constitution on our side all the way here in China, bitch. So what is it really? Y'all just want us to be banned, period. It ain't about us selling the company because you just don't want us to thrive with all your citizens on some shit that profits in China. Nigga said, hey man, if you want to tell your personal account about how TikTok benefits you, about how we putting money in your pocket, which ain't much. If we giving you publicity and visibility that you never would have had, a lot of people can attest to that. A lot of people have become somewhat celebrities, influencers, public figures, podcasters, the whole nine. Niggas done became choreographers off of being on TikTok. Like, a lot of jobs have been created, whether or not you engage. So he said, come tell your story, man. These niggas got me fucked up. Come tell your personal account so we can put it on Front Street when we go to the courts, because we not moving. Niggas think we finna shift our pivot. We not pivoting a bit. Niggas said we're not going anywhere. I fuck with bruh. Like, this is standing on your square for sure. I like it. Y'all know it's been a little bit since I actually spoke about Diddy on the channel. There are some new updates in the Diddy investigation, trial, all of this type of stuff, the public discourse around him. Number one, Diddy's alleged drug mule, Brendan Paul, he's entered a not guilty plea. In a recent turn of events in Miami-Dade County, Brendan Paul, 25-year-old, associated with Diddy, who Lil Rod implicated as his drug carrier and negotiator on drugs and guns and things of that nature. He, received a cocaine possession charge. They actually found it on his person. So I don't know how you can plead not guilty to some shit that they found on you, but I guess it's your choice in court. Despite his absence from the courtroom, his attorney, Brian Bieber, whoa, entered a not guilty plea on his behalf. Is Brian Bieber related to Justin? I would love to fucking know. What the hell? Diddy's not beating the allegations. Hold the front door. I don't know if they're related, but it's wow. It's just too close for comfort for me. Entered a not guilty plea on his behalf via NBC Miami. This development follows Paul's arrest at Miami Opa-locka Executive Airport for possession of cocaine and marijuana-laced candy, which I find interesting because Lil Rod's lawsuit did make note of marijuana-laced candy and other drug-induced goodies. Miami-Dade state attorneys decided to proceed with the cocaine charge while dropping a possession of a controlled substance charge. Paul, a former Syracuse University basketball player, secured release on bond the day after his arrest on March 26th. The police apprehended him carrying illegal substances, which led to a broader investigation involving Homeland Security. We saw that play out on the big screen. This incident links back to a lawsuit filed against Diddy by producer Lil Rod in February, accusing Paul of functioning as a mule for acquiring and distributing drugs and guns on behalf of Combs. The lawsuit paints a complicated picture, intertwining Paul's legal troubles with larger accusations involving high-profile figures. As the situation unfolded, federal authorities also detained Diddy at a Miami airport subsequent to raids at his properties across the country, intensifying the scrutiny surrounding him. The events leading up to and following Paul's arrest have attracted significant media attention, fueled by the implications of his connection with Diddy. Homeland Security's involvement points to serious concerns beyond simple drug possession, linking back to ongoing investigations that might involve other criminal activity. The timing of Paul's legal troubles coincides with federal actions against Diddy, hinting at a potentially larger network of illegalities. Public and legal reactions have been intense. Diddy's attorney, Aaron Dyer, has vehemently defended his client, describing the raids on Combs' properties as an unprecedented ambush and criticizes the excessive use of force. Dyer's statement emphasized the harsh treatment of Combs' family and employees during the raids, portraying the actions as an overreach by law enforcement. As authorities continue to build their case, the legal battles for both Paul and Diddy are just beginning. The accusations and subsequent legal maneuvers will likely keep this case in the spotlight as both the prosecution and defense prepare for a contentious battle over the truth. While Paul's plea of not guilty and the ongoing defense of Diddy's actions, the coming months are set to be filled with legal strategies and revelations that could have significant implications for all involved. This case underscores the complex interplay between celebrity status, legal accountability, and the personal associations that can often complicate public figures' lives. As more details emerge, the public and legal scrutiny will undoubtedly intensify, drawing more attention to the underlying issues at stake. Okay? So that's one part of the story. The next part of the story is that Diddy's camp are now trying to question Lil Rod's character and reputation. So at this point, they're starting to fight back a little bit. All right? They state there's a battle over the character and reputation of Diddy accuser Rodney Lil Rod Smith. One camp has been digging around on the producer, who is suing Bad Boy Mogul for $30 million, claiming he was forced to engage in sex acts and was drugged and groped while working for him. And says he has a history, and they say he has a history of troubling arrests and convictions that make him an unreliable witness. So now they're trying to pull up his criminal history in order to paint him as a villain. Lil Rod's camp says that their fishing expedition is a callous attempt to smear Rod in order to weaken his case against Diddy, and that the rap sheet is misleading in any case. Okay? Now, they're saying Lil Rod has been charged twice with domestic assault. Once in 2009 and once in 2014. Whoa. Domestic assault? You don't know how to keep your hands to yourself in your relationships? Twice? I don't know. I don't know if this changes the story, but it definitely changes the narrative. He was also charged with misdemeanor SA in 2005. However, all charges were dismissed. All charges dismissed. So he found himself in some situations, but none of this stuck. Okay? So you almost gotta, whoa. He was convicted of reckless homicide in 2003. Reckless homicide? Lil Rod, you done killed somebody, man. When whoa. Rod, what the fuck? Tat, what the fuck, man? Oh my God. When Smith's attorney, Tyrone Blackburn, was asked about the record, he said, "I'm sure you know that a charge is not a conviction." So running this story on behalf of Diddy's camp is problematic and calls into question your integrity as a journalist. So now he's going at those that are questioning him, saying your integrity as a journalist is even being called into question by asking me such a question. As we've gone through this ongoing onslaught of allegations, charges, and all of this other shit going on, my faith in Tyrone Blackburn has dissolved quite a bit. I gotta be honest. I don't know. Furthermore, he states, Mr. Jones' July 2003 reckless homicide occurred when he was 17 years old. He was driving a vehicle with his cousin in the passenger seat. The police pulled him over, but he was afraid and drove off. So the police pulled him over, but he skirted off for a chase. It was pretty typical behavior for a young black boy in Chicago when pulled over by the police. As a result, he totaled the vehicle, and his cousin, who was also his best friend, died. Okay, got you. Okay. Let's repaint this picture. He's driving around with his cousin / best friend. Maybe he was speeding. Maybe he had a busted tail light. Could have been any infraction. Police come and say, hey! He pulls up. Police start asking questions. He panics. He hits the gas. One thing leads to another. He done crashed the car. He survives. His cousin / best friend did not. Wow. Blackburn says Rod did not have adequate legal representation at that time. Therefore, he pled guilty. Right? They say he has to live with the guilt of the death of his best friend and family member for the rest of his life. But do not let that stop you from running this story and getting your clicks. So again, he's patronizing the journalist for asking and bringing this up. He says, don't let that stop you from running this story and getting your clicks now. We know you're going to. It must be noted he's talking to Page Six, and a lot of people don't respect Page Six as a platform, but they be having the shits. Page Six also was one of the platforms that broke the Megan Thee Stallion thing, and a lot of that was pretty accurate to what I saw in the lawsuit. So it's not like they were running a salacious story. Blackburn added, Diddy's legal team can do nothing to distract from the fact that he will be indicted soon. So Blackburn comes out with a heavy-handed statement and guarantees basically that Diddy will be indicted. Wow. Let me see if there's any other additional information that we didn't already know in this article. Nope, that's where we stand today. Both parties are trying to smear each other, trying to pull out all the stops. Diddy's team says this is a cash grab. Lil Rod and his attorney say, don't let all these old allegations and stuff like that were put out, don't let that distract you from what actually happened from the years of 2021, 2022, the past 2 years. Right? It's going to be very interesting. Right? All Lil Rod's charges were dropped, as they say in the article, so it's not like he was actually convicted of any of this. He did plead guilty when he was 17 years old, but fleeing from the police doesn't make him a liar. Again, we'll see how this thing plays out. I don't know who did what, but best believe when we find out, we're going to be talking about it over here Inside the Industry with J Nolan. You could guarantee that. That's a Snapple fact. All right? That's all I've got for y'all this evening. I hope y'all enjoyed. Be sure to like and share this video. If this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Become an insider. It's so much better on the inside than on the outs. All right? We have a very, very supportive community over here. Even when we disagree, it's no disrespect. You know what I'm saying? So, it's all love. It's all good. I'm going to catch y'all on the next one. I'm about to go ahead and sign out for the day. I hope y'all have enjoyed the content that we've released today. I will see y'all tomorrow with even more. Again, enjoy your evening, and I'll check back in a little later. All right? Much love and respect, y'all. Peace!
King of my city in cul-de-sac. Coming out swinging like soldier rags. Leading my people like quarterback. Boy, I study this shit, I'm an almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mind. We finna do more than survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the gouda, we hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef for computers, I'm straight out the sewer, we come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest, but drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they doubted me. All of a sudden they tell me they proud of me. I been dropping these haters like calories. Cross them out, I came back with some boundaries. Stand for my honor, but too raw, no gunner. Packing the stick with a drummer. Wanna catch my bad, won't fumble. I done came too far to be humble.